Welcome back everyone. A very good morning to you all. So in the last session we studied about the active and passive voice. We have seen the structure of sentence which is written in active voice and the structure of sentence which is in passive voice. We studied why passive is required in the last session. Today, this session is going to be an important one. Why? Because we'll be studying about conversion from active to passive voice, or vice versa, from passive to active. So how a sentence which is in active voice is converted to be converted to the passive voice, how it is done, we'll study in this session. So let's begin. See my dear students, active and passive voice is considered as a very complicated topic. I'll make it very easy for you. You need to follow certain steps. Whatever question, any type of active sentence if you are getting and you have to convert it in passive, there are certain steps which you need to follow. Please do follow those steps. You will be able to get the answer. So I'll start with a simple sentence. Let's see. So we studied that if you have to convert a sentence which is in active to passive, what you need to do, you want to convert it. Active structure is S plus V plus O. This is structure. A sentence can be in this structure also, S plus V. There is no object. Like he plays cricket. It has object. He plays. The second structure. I'll give an example for the first structure. He plays cricket. Second is he plays. Two structures we have seen in active. So one thing, make sure if a sentence has no object in it, its passive will not be formed. So for this structure, no need to worry, its passive will not be formed. So we have left with only one structure which is S plus V plus O. Right? Understand this, my dear students. If a sentence is written, if a sentence is declarative type and it is in active written in this structure, to convert to passive you need to follow certain steps. Number one step is you need to replace the active sentence is S plus V plus O. You need to interchange the positions of subject and object. For interchanging the position of subject and object, you will have to find out subject, verb and object. In the last session I have told you how to find the subject. If you haven't viewed that video, please go through that video. You will understand how to find a subject in a sentence. So once you find a subject, let's take an example. He plays cricket. The first step is find out the subject, verb and object. Subject, I told you there are two steps you need to follow. First step is check whether there is any action or not. If there is action, he plays it should be. If there is action, find out who is the doer of the action. So he is the subject. Right? Action, verb. This is the object, right? So after finding out subject, verb and object, interchange the position of subject and object. You have to interchange, the second step, interchange. Once you interchange this position, it will become subject, object will come here and subject will go at the place of object. That means if you convert in active sentence, subject is the doer of the action. And in both the cases, doer will be subject. But active sentence, if you convert that to passive, the subject becomes the object and object becomes the subject. So we interchange the positions of object and subject. Number one thing. Right? Now, you have to use a helping verb. We use a helping verb just after the object. And my dear students, make sure whatever verb is given, whatever action is given, you will have the third form of verb written. Verb, third form, and then we use by. This is the structure which you need to remember for passive, for all the tenses. Please do remember this structure. How we form this structure? We have interchanged the position of object and subject. We interchange it. The object comes before, S comes at the last, helping verb, then comes verb third form, and then comes by. This is universal structure, means it will not change at all for any sentence which is of declarative type, which is of assertive, affirmative or negative type, right? So you have, why if you notice I have written this helping verb is in a small, I have written that in a box. My dear students, this part, object, verb, third form, by and subject will not change at all for any tenses. If the active sentence is in either form of the 12 tenses which we have studied it, so it will not change. It will follow the same structure. Only thing which changes according to tense is helping verb. So what you need to remember is the helping verb. If you are able to remember the helping verb for each and every tense, you will be able to easily convert any declarative sentence which is an active to passive. The structure is, structure for passive is object plus helping verb plus verb third form plus by plus subject. This is the structure where helping verb keeps on changing as per the tense. So let's talk about the present tense, and we'll talk in this session. We'll talk about all the 3 cases of the present tense. 4 cases actually. Number 1 is simple present. See how to convert this. Simple present, let's take any sentence. I have just taken that sentence. Let's talk about he writes a letter. A very simple sentence which is in active voice. Okay. I told you if you have to convert the sentence, you need to first find out subject, verb and object. So before starting with subject, find out subject. To find subject, you need to find out who is the doer of, what is the action being done. This is the action, writes is the action. So this will be verb. Who is doing this action? He, this will be subject. A letter will become the object. It is the receiver of the action. So the first step, object should come here. So what is object here? A letter. We have to write a letter. Okay, then comes helping verb, leave a space for helping verb, I'll explain it. Okay, then a letter, what comes verb third form? What is the verb here? Write. Write is the verb. If you think of the third form of the verb, write, wrote, written. Written is the third form of verb, so you write written. Written. Then comes by, and then subject. Subject means he. He will become him. When you are using subject as the recipient, it will become he, will become him, she will become her, it will remain it. Okay? So it's very simple. So half portion we have completed. Only thing which you need to remember is helping verb. And there is no need to mug it up, no need for rote learning. Understand the concept. See, what I did was, I simply found out subject, verb and object in the active sentence and simply put that in this basic formula which will not change at all for declarative sentence. Only thing in the formula which changes is the word written in the box, which is a helping verb. So how to find helping verb? See, this sentence was in which tense? Simple present tense. You cannot change the simple present tense. You cannot change the tense of that same sentence which is in passive. So a letter written by him. If you have to make it into simple present, what are the verbs, simple verbs which you can use? Present means you cannot use was. What you need to go with is or am or are. Since we have subject, a letter is singular, so you will go with is. If the subject would have been letters, you would have written letters are written by him. So the verb which you will use is, so the formula will become is, am and are plus verb third form plus by and plus subject. This is the basic structure. You need to remember only is and are. So for simple present tense is in passive. If it is in passive, you have to use verb is and are. Very simple. Huh? Let's talk about continuous, which is again a simple one. Second case, continuous. Present continuous, simple present. Let's see, write the sentence. He is writing a letter. This is a sentence written in active. He is writing a letter. An active sentence which is in present continuous tense. Well, what I told, if you want to convert it into passive, first thing you need to find out subject, verb and object. If you need to find out subject, find out verb. Action is writing. Who is doing the action is the subject. This will become subject. This is verb. A letter will become object. You found out? Put this same thing in the formula. Object comes first. You have to interchange the position of subject and object. Object will come first. It will become a letter. Simple it is. A letter. Then comes helping verb. Leave a space here. Okay. Then comes verb third form. Verb third form means, what is the third form of writing? Written. W-R-I-T-T-N. Written. Then comes by. Then comes subject. Subject was he. When it will be used here, it will become he, will become him. So it's very simple. A letter dash written by him. Now, if you properly observe, this looks exactly the same. But this was in simple present. This should be continuous. I told you, for making any sentence in continuous, you have to use verb first form and ing. Do you find anywhere? You can't see ing form. So for that, what we do? We use is, am or are. Since here we have a letter, then it's a singular, we are using is. Then we use be plus ing, is being written by him. Understand why we use be. I told you have to make continuous. Continuous requires ing form of verb. Be form of verb plus ing. If you write, it will become being. So the sentence now became continuous. It is now having helping verb also, and it has ing form of verb also. So the sentence structure will become object, which is in passive, plus is, am, are, plus you have added one more word, being, plus rest of the part remains the same, plus something. This is the structure. Very simple. You don't need to remember this structure. Simply remember this structure. And do remember helping verb. For simple present, helping verb was ismr. We saw ismr. For continuous, add with ismr, add being. When to use is? When the subject is singular, go with is. When the subject is plural, go with are. And when the subject is I, go with. Let's talk about the third case. Third case is the perfect. Perfect. Let's take the same sentence. He has written a letter. Now this sentence is in present perfect tense. Now if you want to convert this sentence to passive, this is written in active. This is an active sentence, active voice. If you want to convert, what you need to do, the first step, find out subject, verb and object. What is action here? This is this action. This will become verb. Action is done by he. It will become subject. A letter will become object. Easy it is? Now put that same thing in the formula. Object comes first, that means a letter will come first. A letter. Leave a space for helping verb. Right? A letter. Then comes verb third form, written. By the subject, he will become him. Okay? Now, can you find out anything which shows that sentence is in perfect tense? You can't see. Verb third form is written, but verb third form is used in passive for simple also, simple present also, and present continuous also. So you have to add something. So we know that for perfect we need to have has and have. Has or have we need to have. So what you need to do? You have to simply write has or have. Since you have a letter is singular, so you use has. A letter has, and then we use B-E-E-N. Understand why being is used. B-E-E-N means B-E plus E-N. It is made from B-E plus E-N. These were form of we. E-N is when we have to make perfect, we require verb third form. Like write, wrote, written. Write can be, its third form can be made by adding E-N to it. So it will become being. So you need to add simply a single word has been. So you will find the structure will become object plus, in place of helping verb it will become has or have, plus being, plus verb third form, plus by, and subject. This is the structure. So what you need to remember is, for simple present, helping verb will be ismr. For present continuous, helping verb will be ismr plus being. For third case, which is perfect, you will have verb has or have plus been. Now, if you will see the last structure is, the last part is present perfect continuous, the combination. You'll find that if, let's see, let me write a sentence which is an active voice which belongs to present perfect continuous. You'll see, like I'll let that. He has been writing for 2. He has been writing a letter for 2 hours. If you see has been writing, has been, we are already using it. Has already been used. So the conversion of this sentence will not be possible. That means present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous. For these 3 cases, tense will conversion into passive form will not be possible. So we are left with only 9 forms. So far we are left with 9 forms. There is one more form for whose we cannot form the passive form of that particular tense. We'll study, that is for future continuous. We'll talk about that when we come to the future tense. So let's quickly revise for the present tense. There are 3 forms whose passive can be formed. Number 1 is simple present, second is continuous, third one is perfect. For simple present, the structure becomes the same. Verb will be, for simple, verb will be is, am or are depending upon the subject. For continuous, verb will become is, am, are plus being. We'll use being. And for the third case, perfect, we will have has or have plus BEEM. It's very simple. The conversion of any sentence which is active to passive is a simple, very simple actually. So what you need to remember is to remember the formula, object, helping verb, verb third form plus by plus object. Once you are done with that formula, once you remember that formula, what you need to change is the helping verb. Keep on changing helping verb for different forms of the verb. You will be easily able to convert any declarative sentence only. Please, this formula is for only declarative sentence, to remember that. So it's very easy. We'll talk about the second tense conversion of the past tense. All the 3 forms of the past tense, which is an active to passive. We'll study about that in next session. That's all we have for today. Stay blessed. Take care.